Okay, I decided to do my experiment with the 7A thrusters on this guy. So I've got the 7Ds, dirty drive tuning enhanced and all that stuff like I showed you in the earlier video. And these are the 7As here. So stock 7A cost me 5 million credits or so. Are these still 10% less? I don't know. Anyway, it costs a lot. Put it in there. You can see that since this is not engineered yet, the 7D engineered are considerably superior to stock 7A. My boost speed goes down to 229 from 309. My top speed goes down to 187 now. But I'm going to put these in. Also, they're heavier. They weigh 80 tons instead of 32. They draw more power. Another 19% power, and they'll draw even more once I engineer them, which may ruin my power priorities. I don't know. We'll see. That's why I want to try it out here where it's easy to try. I will store the old one because I'll probably want it back. Alright, anyway, I just wanted to record that changeover so I could show the difference between the 7As and the engineered 7Ds. Now I'm going to go over and engineer the 7As and we'll see what we get there. Okay, I have brought my 7A thrusters over here to the engineer. I'm going to roll through the dirty drive tuning, and that'll also give me a feel for how it feels now. I've got 100 iron, so I've got plenty to do this with. It only takes 1 iron for a roll, so let's see how this goes. These are supposed to be going quicker now, the lower ones, so let's see. Okay, so 1 roll got me through grade 1. One roll got me through grade 2 to where 3 is unlocked. Obviously this is not maxed, but it doesn't have to be to move on. Alright, so 2 rolls to unlock grade 4. Three rolls to unlock grade 5. Okay, that was about what I expected. So that's fine. So at 4 rolls, I've basically maxed it. I mean, there's a little tiny percentage left that isn't maxed. If I was doing this on live, I would probably quit there because I don't care about the 0.09% or whatever it is. I would never notice. But since I'm in beta, I'm going to complete it just to see how many it takes. It used to take a lot to get that last little bit. Yeah, so this is still like this. If you absolutely want to max it, it takes quite a few extra rolls for that little bit. Okay, so now it's completely maxed. There's nothing else I can do with it except the experimentals. Now there's 2 experimentals that are interesting. Well, actually they're all kind of interesting. Drag drives is the most obvious one. You would put that in, it increases your optimal multiplier. And that increases everything. Speed, maneuverability, everything. The only time it doesn't, the only time you wouldn't pick this is with some types of lightweight builds. If you're trying to make the fastest Imperial Eagle in the world, you might, depending on what else you have on the ship and what the mass turns out to be, you might decide that you want to use this one instead, so that your optimal mass goes up. Because if your optimal mass is lower, then a certain amount, it affects the speed and maneuverability in an extremely negative fashion. For most ships, though, bigger ships like the ones I fly, drag drives is the guy to get. The other ones that are on here are thermal load if you're trying to make a really cool ship. Really cool. Double braced if you keep getting your thrusters shot out, I guess. And stripped down if you just want to be really light. Lots more jump range, explorer builds and stuff. So that's a nice range of things. I'm going to put drag drives on here. Alright, so that'll give me my 146% optimal multiplier. I want to go into the outfitting screen and see how that worked out. I'll have to refer back to my previous one. I should have wrote it down. Oh, that's right. I've got screenshots of it. I'll go look at it. Let's see here. What do we have speed-wise and pitch-wise and what have you? Okay. There we go. Alright, so I now have a boost speed of 324. And a top speed of 265. That almost makes this ship a normal ship instead of a completely slow cow. And look at that pitch. My pitch now is 32.4. I don't know, it was like, what do we say? It was 30 something on the last one. I'll have to look back and see what the exact amounts are. But yeah, it went up quite a bit. However, I did lose, what, one light year? Yeah. Only a light year, so maybe it's not too bad. But I'm having power. It's drawing a lot more power. Let's take a quick look at the modules and see how bad is it now. That's not that bad, 101%. So I'm still within reasonable amount. The way I've got it now, the planetary vehicle will go off and the fuel scoop when I deploy weapons. So, I mean, that's fine. So actually, this build works, and it's a little bit more maneuverable. I just have to decide for myself if it's worth it to lose the light year of range, I guess. And to use more power. It's going to increase my heat generation a little, but this ship runs pretty cool, so it's probably not a big deal. I don't know. That's one of those compromises that's kind of a wash. But it is nice. It is nice to be able to boost the speed and maneuverability of the old T-10 up to those values there. That's pretty nice. Okay, so that's the result of the actual engineering of it. Now I think I will take the ship out. I said I was going to take it out and do some fighting with it with these shields and these thrusters just to get a feel for how it feels. So let's go do that. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I'm going to go into this high-intensity conflict zone. See what happens with the shields the way they are. Get a feel for it. How the ship handles now and what have you. I don't actually do a lot of conflict zone stuff. But I will go in here because it's a bit more dangerous than the res, has-res or whatever. And I just kind of want to try it out. If I get blown up, it's alright. So let's see here. The guys I'm aligned to that are green. Who are those guys? Okay, so traditional weird Justice Party. We're traditionally weird. We're not new age weird. Okay. So I think I will declare for them, but I always like to get some distance away. definitely handles better. It feels more like my Anaconda now. Which makes me wonder what the Anaconda will feel like. Even better. I need someone to shoot at me, though, so I can see what the shields are like. Maybe this gunship will shoot at me. If I irritate him enough.
Under attack. Target shields offline.
Face tank.
Target destroyed.
I would say my shields held up extremely well to that.
Target destroyed.
What's this? A Corvette. Yes, maybe I can get the Corvette to shoot at me. Hello, Corvette. Would you like to shoot at me? Show me if my shields are any good. Let's see.
Under attack.
Alright, here we go.
Target shields offline.
I can't go backwards that fast. Well, I didn't want to hit him because that kind of changes. Well, it's fine, I guess. Look at him. He's following me. Okay. That's pretty funny. I think he blasted my shields with his hull more than anything. Alright, well, if I live through that, I'm going to live through pretty much any interdiction I might encounter. Oh, someone is attacking me? Who? This guy? Maybe. I did not use a shield cell during that last fight. I do have some. I do want to try the distributor though, so maybe I'll go back and do that. It's so heavy though. It's the only thing I hate giving up jump range. I do so much traveling. But on the other hand, 30 is pretty good, really. It is. Alright, here's another. This is a T-9. Why is a T-9 here? Seems like an odd choice for them.
Target shields offline.
Stop running into me.
Target destroyed.
Okay, well that's enough of a test for me. It passes my test anyway. I can say I don't come into conflict zones much. It's nice to know that I can come into one and not immediately be destroyed. Yeah, pretty good. Alright, let's go get the other distributor on here and see how that works out. I'll be back. Okay, so let's look at the compromises for the distributor. The one I have in now is the 6A fully modified. If I replace it with a stock 7A, I get increased capacity and lower recharge, of course, and increased power draw and increased weight. Weighs twice as much, weighs 80 tons. So I lose another 0.7 light years and another meter per second off my top speed. Yeah. So let's put that in there. Then we'll go engineer it up and we'll see how it feels out there. I wonder if it resets everything. No, it stays. So power usage about the same. It's nice that it remembers all my settings. Alright, I'll be back when I get over to the engineer. Okay, I'm over here to do the distributor. Let's see how it goes compared to the dirty drive guy. Again, only one to go to level 2. One to go to level 3, so that's the same as before. This should be 2 if it's the same. Yep, and this should be 3 to get to level 5. 3 to 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it took 4 this time. Did it take 4 last time? I thought it was 3. Maybe it was 4. Okay, so now we're on grade 5. So let's max it out. So that we know. I think on live probably 4 rolls, possibly 5 at the top end is enough, because by that time you're like really close. Really close. But since it's beta, I'm going to keep going. It's going to depend on how OCD you are, I think. Okay, and there it is, maxed out. And the experimental effect I want is super conduits, because that's more recharge. Okay, so let's take a look at that in outfitting. Alright, so there we are with our 50.8% increase on these guys and 8.8% decrease in the capacity. So recharge rate vastly increased, capacity slightly decreased. That's a nice mod. Okay, so now we need to go back out to the conflict zone. There's a conflict zone right around this planet, so it makes for convenient testing. And then we'll see how it matches up to what we had before. Okay, we're back at the conflict zone. I just want to see how much difference it makes. I'm going to do just what I did last time, leave the pips at 2 in weapons, just to see how they hold up now. Of course, it should be better because it's a bigger distributor. The question is it better enough to lose the jump range and speed? It might be. I don't know. Or it may be that it'll depend on what I'm doing with the ship.
Under attack. Warning. Impulse attack. Trajectory disruption. Target shields offline. Under attack. Target shields offline. Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, it made quite a difference. Even if I just held down my trigger and fired constantly, I didn't actually wind up losing. It didn't go all the way down to 0, and that's with 2 pips. Interesting. Of course, I don't do a lot of this, but I think the 6 is clearly enough for mission running and that kind of thing. And then the 7 you might want for more combat-oriented stuff.
Target destroyed.
Ah, here's another Corvette.
Under attack.
Oh, and he's already attacking me. So that's good. Let's see how this works out.
malfunction. Module malfunction. Target destroyed.
Oh, I see. I had another ship after me as
Module
well.
malfunction.
All right. Well, it's probably time to get out of Dodge, isn't it?
Module malfunction. Module malfunction. Module malfunction.
All right. Well, there we go. Now we know. That Corvette was he was a lot more aggressive than the last one. So I did wind up using my shield cells on that, and I still wound up losing shields. So I think that was a pretty good test of what I can expect. You know, the maximum that I can expect out of these shields. So they held up well. The hull is 28% now, though. Once they went down and he started hitting me with missiles, that's when things started to turn. All right. Anyway, that's my test for the day. I'm going to go do some other testing. I'm sure I'll be back later with other things. I think I'm happy now, though, with the shields and the distributor like this. I still haven't decided whether I'll stick with the lower range ones or not. I can always increase my shield power here by using, bigger boosters. Again, losing a little bit of jump range. I might have to boost the power plant some more. But yeah, it's all good compromises. I think it's the system's pretty nicely balanced now, at least for me and for the way I use things. Anyway, thanks for watching. I shall return later.